Hello, and you're all very welcome to our coverage of the third round of the Enduro World Series 2021. We're in northwest Italy for the Vittoria EWS La Thuile. Yes, we have swapped the Dolomites off round 1 and 2 for the beautiful EWS La Thuile under the shadow of Monte Bianco here in northwest Italy. If you are still to catch up on those highlights before we dive in, then check them out. Everything is online now from the Met EWS Val di Fassa, rounds 1 and 2. If you are up to speed, then who am I to stand in your way from all the action from the Vittoria EWS La Thuile? Here's stage 1. The first stage of the day was North Waves La Thuile. 2.93 kilometres in length with a vertical drop of over 500 metres. Weather reports indicated that a storm was on its way up the EWS La Thuile, meaning that some of the day's stages would be shortened to try and avoid disruption. A storm may have been coming, but La Thuile basked in some early morning sun as the race got underway. On stage 1, bright light and ground made soft by rain overnight made for tricky going.
I'm blind as it is. I couldn't see anything. I was at a rave at 4 AM.
Not too bad. I'm on dry tires and I'm loving it. It's good out there. Not too much different in practice.
It was an all-French affair from the get-go in the pro women's race.
It's really hard because sometimes there is some grip, sometimes not at all. So I did not find the pace on this one, so I'll try better on the next one.
Isabelle Cordelier, the victor of round 1, took the opening stage of the day. GT Factory Racing's Martin Mays had missed the opening couple of rounds thanks to becoming a father, but it didn't seem to be slowing him down.
Didn't feel great first stage of the season for me, but I still on the bike.
Good to be back racing.
Yeah, good, yeah, for sure, yeah, especially here in La Thuile.
But even Belgium's fastest export couldn't come between Richie and Jack Moir in 2021.
Yeah, good stage to start the day. I feel like I got beaten pretty good for all the races this morning. Bike felt good, so I'm happy.
Rouge took the stage win by just 9/10 of a second. Well, joining me this week are, of course, Enduro World Series sports coordinator Rory Cunningham and GMBN's Rich Payne. Rory, you've been working extensively with the local trail crew here preparing these stages this week. Speed is going to be a big factor today, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're no stranger to speed in this part of the world, Rick. Just over my shoulder we've got the Francoberto ski slope, famed for World Cup downhill racing. You know, the courses, they've certainly taken some inspiration from that, and yeah, the riders are in for a treat.
Rich, when it's not terrifyingly fast, it's even more terrifyingly steep around here, isn't it?
It is. As soon as you sort of get to the bottom half of the mountain, the gradient almost just drops off. So you've got almost this false sense of security that you're going flat out at the top and you think, okay, we're nearly there, but then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose as you drop down the mountain. And although the speeds may not be as high, you still can't stop because it's so blooming steep.
The peril level becomes quite high.
Yes.
So let's check those stages out now then, see what they're in store for today. Stage 1 is North Waves La Thuile and is 2.93 kilometres in length. Stage 2 is La Thuile's Miniere, an extremely fast 2.54 kilometres. Then we have Troy Lee designed Stage 3 La Fresa before the big one, the Queen Stage Vittoria's Vertical. Strap yourselves in then, here is the hyper fast Stage 2. The second stage of the day was La Thuile's Miniere. Shortened but all the more frantic for it, it would be one of the fastest in recent memory. It was a firm rider favourite right up until the final brutal sprint to the line. Trek's Harriet Harndon was fresh from a UCI World Cup cross-country race, but still managed to find reserves of energy.
Oh, that was my favourite trail, I think. It was so good. I did that sprint at the end. Oh my god. I was more physical than I expected. Like in training I got it pretty smooth, and then racing you have to like pedal after every corner and push hard.
At the front end of the pro women's field, Melanie Pugin took control of the race.
Beautiful stage. I love it.
Even with the sprint.
Oh yes, it's enduro. It's not downhill.
With the weather set to change, Jessie Melamed was boxing clever and headed straight to the pits for a change of rubber.
Gotta change a tyre.
Lapierre's at Collective's Adrian Day's consistency was paying off. It was business as usual for Martin Mays. He was third on the stage and third in the overall, and looking like he'd never been away. In most walks of life, 1.2 seconds isn't a large amount of time, but in the context of the EWS in 2021, it's starting to feel sizable.
Blew me doors off. Struggling for energy, mate. Same as the first one.
Richie Rude squeaked the stage win and extended his lead by the slenderest of margins. Well, Vittoria tyres are here in force this week, and I've been talking to their head of product development, Ken Avery, over in the States regarding his recommended rubber for this Vittoria EWS La Thuile. Ken has recommended a more aggressive front tyre with a slightly softer compound and a rear faster rolling number to help maintain stability, both with a minimum 2-ply casing. Managing air pressure is key, Ken reckons, this weekend, as low as possible without risking rim strikes. He's also recommended something along the lines of a medium airliner tyre insert. Very, very tricky conditions here in La Thuile as always, so good to get Ken's input on that one. The third stage of the day was Troy Lee Design's La Fresa, 2.22 kilometres in length and the start of the really steep technical face of La Thuile. The 2019 title runner-up Noga Carême was finding her feet at just the right time. But the fastest non-French rider was Rocky Mountain race faces Adrian Lanfier-Nadeau.
Almost piercing the French defense, but it's World War III out there.
It was turning into a titanic struggle for the victory. Courdurier and Pugin were now trading stage wins at the front of the pro women's field. Courdurier took the victory on La Thuile. There was less than half a second between the pair as they headed into what would be an epic final stage showdown. The much talked about rain finally arrived as the pro men took to the stage. Jesse Melanie was looking good and took third on the stage.
That was wild. We were told it was rough, but that was like insane. It's just so steep, so many braking bumps, like I'm just blowing through travel everywhere. It's just like boom, boom, boom.
But he still couldn't get past Mr. Consistent Adrian Day in the overall. A stage win confirmed Martin Mays' third place with only 2.36 seconds covering the top three. He was still very much in the hunt. But it was still Ruud and Moir locked in battle by just 0.83 seconds. Richie Ruud again edged it. Just. Vittoria's vertical would decide the fate of the race. At 4.18 kilometres in length and with a vertical drop of over 700 metres, it was already the toughest stage of the weekend. Freshly drenched, it stood as an altogether more terrifying proposition. The storm was here. It was now a question of who could weather it the best. The pro women's race would be between Isabelle Courdurier and Melanie Pugin, with the gap standing at just half a second. Would anyone throw it away? Who would blink first? In the end, the champion broke first. Isabelle Courdurier, with a huge crash followed by an off-track excursion, tumbled out of the top 5 in the overall. But it would be Melanie Pugin who won the bike race with a huge 23.43 second winning margin.
Hi, it's pretty cool. I win again. I am so happy. It's a lesson for me.
Yet again in 2021, Hattie Harnden came on strong in the closing stages of an EWS. The Trek Factory Racing star took her second ever stage win. That Queen stage win would catapult her up the rankings into second place on the podium. Adrian Lanfier-Nadeau finally broke the French line. Morgan Char also had issues on the final stage, and a superb final push from the Canadian saw her back on the podium. The pro men's field also featured its fair share of drama. Martin Mays, who had been on course for a podium finish, crashed, which in turn opened the door to strong rides from Jesse Melanie and Adrian Day that moved them each up a place respectively. Yeti Fox's latest promising young talent, Casper Woolley, rode superbly all day to claim 7th place. All eyes were once again on Ruud and Moir. Under a second separated them with a wet and wild La Thuile, aching to be the deciding factor. Richie Rude took to the top step for the second time in 2021. His winning margin would be just under 2 seconds after Moir followed him home on the Queen stage by under a second.
Yeah, pretty good day. The day started out drier, like the track was pretty good, and then it started raining halfway through the day for stage 3 and 4. Happy to get another win. Yeah, I've been riding good here, like with practice and everything, and I was hoping for a good day of racing, and kind of played out that way, and yeah, just had a lot of fun.
That leaves the biblically close 2021 title races looking like this. Melanie Pugin is edging away from the chasing pack with a 205-point gap opening up between her and Morgan Schär. In the pro men's, only 65 points separate Richie Rude and Jack Moir, with Jesse Melamed consolidating his third place ahead of the Canyon collective pairing of Dimitri Tordo and Jose Borges. In the team standings, it is Canyon who lead the way ahead of Pivot Factory Racing and Rocky Mountain Raceface. So there we have it then, another incredibly close race in the books in 2021. Melanie Pugin taking another victory, Richie Rude his second win of the year, but I have a funny feeling that Jack Moir will be more than happy to still be in contention. Jesse Melamed's right there as well, as is Martin Mays. The pace is clearly there. The good news is you don't have long to wait before the riders leave the start ramp behind me again. Saturday night we'll have the pro stage and then the full course again on Sunday for the 4th round of the Enduro World Series 2021 from the Vittoria EWS La Thuile. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.